Today I was strong. My ex randomly texted me today to ask if he could come over to get his social security card. We hadn't talked for a few days. We broke up about 6 weeks ago and has now with the girl he cheated on me with. I said sure. He came over, but this time it was different. He kept the conversation going, he was asking questions, he was making long eye contact. He hugged our dog and said hi to every one of our pets. When he was about to leave, he said this went well, right? We could be friends, don't you think? And I said, I told you the other day we can't be friends. Maybe after I'm over you, but for right now I don't want to be friends. He looked like he wanted to cry. He looked like he realized I finally put my foot down and he didn't expect it. I was ducking strong today and finally built the courage to tell him I don't want him in my life after everything he did to me. 9 years together and he cheats on me and gets with a girl 3 weeks later. I never deserved that. I never should have been disrespected after being together for so long. I put my foot down and finally grew a backbone against the man I would have done anything for. I'm so proud of myself and will now be implementing no contact until I'm ready. It's the little things, guys. Update, needing advice on how to move on. I just found this sub after spending the last few weeks on various breakup and no contact subs. Reading a lot of these stories has been heartbreaking but also comforting to know Therese others out there in my situation. My ex and I were together for 9 years, since I was 16. We had talked about getting married and I thought he really was the one. About 6 weeks ago he told me he didn't have feelings for me and I found out he had been talking to a girl at his work for 2 months. He kissed her. 3 weeks later has now dating this girl. She has 2 kids and is apparently fine with him cheating, knows he had a girlfriend when they met. I've been working out, spending time with family and friends, reading, watching way too many comedy specials on Netflix. Any tips on ways to get over this? I can't help but feel like he'll eventually come back with his tail between his legs, and I know that's keeping me from really committing to moving on. He wants to stay friends and this Monday I told him that's not possible. Perhaps if he had broken up with me when he originally felt like he didn't have feelings, but after finding out he was going behind my back and cheated, I can't do it. This is the man I wanted to marry and he so easily threw everything away and I can't seem to get past that. Everything just seems like a lie, or the past 9 years were a waste. Even his close friends have told me they never expected him to do something like this. Feel free to read my previous posts. And thank you guys in advance for any advice. Update, it's so sad that when you see someone as they really are, it ruins them. Shout out to BoJack Horseman for continually giving me comfort during my breakup in a strange existential crisis kind of way. I've been battling with coming to terms with the fact that the man I loved for 9 years was capable of doing so many horrible things to me. Cheating, lying, rebounding with the girl he cheated on me with, looking me in the eyes every day and saying he loved me and saw a future. I didn't believe he was that person, but he is. Has been that way the whole time and I have turned a blind eye or didn't want to believe it. My heart goes out to everyone on this sub. We're all dealing with horrible emotions and situations and just know it gets better. It really does. I didn't think it'd be feeling somewhat okay after 2 months. My thoughts are still racing, but Therese barely emotion behind it anymore. Kind of like a TV playing in the background. Hope you all are doing okay on this Sunday evening. Update, the truth always comes out. My ex and I have been broken up for almost 3 months. He texted me the other day to come get some mail after us not speaking for 3 weeks. He seemed down, not as cheerful as the last time I saw him at the beginning of his new relationship with AP, and told me how he has no friends anymore and he just sits at home all day after work. He mentioned if I could renew his Apple Music he pays for it but gets a discount from my student email, and I log in and see he had a subscription to Tinder in September 2019. When we were still together. When he was helping my mom move. When we were going on dates. When we, as I thought, were happy. I thought that his cheating started 2 months before we broke up. He originally said he lost feelings, and 2 days later I see a text from his AP. Turns out, he was doing shady stuff for a lot longer. 9 years together, and he just says he was unhappy for a long time. Did I ever hear him voice this concern? No. He chose to seek validation from other people and destroy our relationship. The truth always comes out. Always. I stumbled upon that text from AP. I stumbled upon his Tinder subscription. I told him today to change his mailing address, and to come get the rest of his stuff has been leaving behind for months. I honestly felt bad for him yesterday. Thought that maybe he was feeling the weight of everything he had done, but now finding out more, I never want to see him again. Update, trickle truth and telling the AP. I posted here about a week ago about how the truth always comes out, and it turns out more has come out. My ex was on dating apps talking to other women for about 5 of the 9 years we were together. I was furious. I felt like he used me as a place to live since he had nowhere else to go. So I texted his AP-turned-girlfriend and let her know that he's a serial cheater. Maybe she thinks she's special because he chose to cheat with her, but that's just not the truth. He would have cheated with anyone willing. I know it was immature, but first of all, screw my ex. Second, she deserves to know he's a horrible person and she can make the decision to stay with him or not. They'll probably still stay together since she was already fine with his cheating in the first place. But, I'm happy knowing everyone in his life knows who he really is now, and I will go on with my life. I'm sad that I wasted some of my best years on him, but it'll be free from the worry now. I know he feels terrible about what he did, but it's a pattern that he simply doesn't want to fix. Lose a cheater, gain a life. Update, selfishness. It's basically indisputable that cheating is the ultimate selfish act, but it took me being dumped to realize just how selfish my ex was in other areas of his life. He never came off directly as a monster, and I think that's why I was able to justify his SE behavior for so long. So here is my list of selfish, full of himself situations I've come to see. 1. He always bought Christmas presents a day or two before seeing his family. He never planned anything, just expected to go to the store and see what they have. He did this for every year we were together, despite me telling him it stressed me out and we should buy things ahead of time. 2. Never bought his family birthday presents, not even a card or flowers for his grandma's mother. This eventually started happening to me as well. 3. There was a period of time where he would want time, and once he finished, that was it. Never asked if I wanted more to finish a helping hand. He got what he wanted and he was done. 4. He would mention joking around with people at work, but it was actually just him ducking with people. He did this to everyone. He said his favorite thing to do would to hear someone tell a story or ask a question and then go, "What do you mean?" so they would further explain. He thought it was funny to see people confused try to explain things to him. 5. He would say good luck to people working at grocery stores he works at one to, so I'm not sure why he thought he was above these people, as if saying good luck with your job type of attitude instead of saying thank you, have a good day when walking away from the register. It always bugged me. Just be nice. 6. He would play video games of his days off, which I wouldn't mind, but I'd ask him to put away the laundry which I cleaned or do some dishes while I'm at work. He would wait until I came home to do these things instead of doing them during the day. I would come home and be annoyed that he sat at home getting drunk doing nothing. Take 10 minutes to do something before I come home so I won't be annoyed? Like you're doing what I asked but on your time. 7. We would go to a lot of sports games, Disneyland, parties, and he would always say he'd drive us home and then would get way too drunk to drive. I eventually caught on to this and stopped drinking so I could drive us home. He would get pissed that I was being controlling when I really just wanted him to limit his alcohol if he said he would drive us home. He'll drive us, just ask. Don't lie and say you'll have 2 beers and it turns into 6 and you wonder why I'm frustrated. I could go on about the little things I would look past because I love this guy. It makes it easier to think my life will be better without him because I won't have to deal with his cheating and blatant selfishness on a daily basis. Feel free to add your own things to the list. Update: I think I made a mistake. I've posted on here a few times. My ex and I were together for 9 years, and 3 months ago he cheated on me with a coworker. They're in a relationship now. This morning, I'm not sure what got into me, but I emailed his work's HR department. He works at a chain store, so it didn't directly get sent to the store he works at. I didn't go into detail. Basically just made a complaint and asked if employee relationships are allowed. I instantly regretted it. I don't want him to lose his job, it's basically all he has. I'm not a revenge-seeking person, but now I feel terrible. I'm not sure what will come of it. I think I ducked up and took it too far. Update: today is an anger day. I just still can't wrap my mind around how people can do this to someone else. 9 years together. Throws it away on a co-worker and they date 3 weeks later. Did all that time together mean nothing? She knows he cheated and she still wants him? What kind of mental gymnastics goes into that? Plus, she has 2 kids at 27. Not knocking single moms, but yet thinks she'd have some more sense in her. My ex also has no idea when the girl and the father of her kids broke up. Is that really not something people ask about? I can't help but think Hess so deep in limerence that Hess just not thinking straight. I can't imagine they have anything in common. Is it mean that I want this to blow up in his face? I think it's true they really don't understand the amount of pain infidelity inflicts on a person until they go through it. I've honestly lost my hope that Terry's actually good people out there. Update: you can't save someone from themselves. I've been doing some introspection and research since the start of my NC period with my ex. Mostly unresolved childhood issues and what can cause cheating, the affair down phenomena, and the 80-20 rule. My eyes have also opened up to the amount of emotional abuse I was subjected to. I think the more I look at my relationship and the red flags I looked past, it all just adds up to the fact that I couldn't save my ex from his own issues. I was his 80 while his AP-turned-girlfriend is the 20. I hope one day he realizes this, even if it's a fleeting thought. On the other hand, there is totally the idea of their soulmates, and I was just in their way of true love this entire time in the back of my head, but I know that's just anxiety. I'm funny, intelligent with college degrees in a respected field, I'm no supermodel but I'm somewhat attractive. I'm kind and giving and have a good head on my shoulders. He gave up 9 years together to be with a girl who has 2 kids from another relationship. He told me he doesn't even know when they broke up. I'm convinced she could easily just be using him for emotional support if the breakup was recent. They both work at the same grocery store together, and as far as I know, she has no long-term goals and has shown her character to be okay with cheating and inserting herself into someone else's relationship. She gave him his 20% where she probably fed him all the things he wanted to hear, easy time and making him feel like a man. I've told him multiple times over the years that he seeks validation in other people because he has childhood trauma he needs to work through. His family is a hot mess and his father passed away when he was 14. He doesn't see himself as a good person, not arguing with that one at this point, but I believe he truly thought he didn't deserve me and he'd find someone better at some point. Instead of being a better person and being grateful of having a loving girlfriend, he tore me down, used me, and then cheated with someone he probably feels above. All of my love never could have stopped this. I found out about a month ago that he was downloading dating apps for years. This AP is just the first girl to take the bait. It could have honestly been anyone. He could have talked and told me his issues, we could have worked on them or decided to walk away, but he chose to take the easy way out for him and line someone up before ending things because he truly can't be alone. I guess the reason of this post is just to reiterate the idea of it's truly them, not us. We all have our flaws, but the way that you choose to deal with them is your true character. Their choice as AP is also not a reflection of us, it's just the first morally corrupt person they could get their hands on. Keep pushing forward, grow and learn from this experience. It's important to be happy with yourself, and then maybe the right person will come into all our lives and appreciate us like our exes should have. Update: anyone's wayward look. Worse since the affair? I haven't seen or talked to my ex in over a month. He is living it up with his AP. He posted a picture on social media today. I know I shouldn't be creeping, but I did. He spent his birthday weekend in Oregon with his best friend. AP didn't go with him and he looks unwell. His face looks bloated and unhealthy. Has anyone else's wayward changed physically for the worse after everything? Do you think it's the guilt, stress, probably excessive drinking? It was shocking to see, and my family even commented on his change in look as well. Guilt is a hell of an ager, that's for sure. Update: the timeline told through pictures. It's so strange looking back at pictures now, knowing the timeline of the cheating. Pictures where we looked happy, on vacations where we were happy, memories that will now be forever tainted by the timeline. I was someone who wanted to know everything. I dug for info and I found it. I'm now feeling conflicted about it. 9 years together, and it's tainted so many of the happy memories I thought I shared with my ex. It makes it all so much more confusing. Like, what happened? What made you happy on this trip, and a few months later you were downloading dating apps? How could you have not loved me on the day of my college graduation? How can someone blend in so seamlessly to the point that I never expected this? I know it's a part of the healing process, but it really makes you question your reality when something like infidelity happens to you. It's scary how people can be so deeply broken and hide it perfectly. Update: why are you still upset about this? My sister and I invited 2 work friends over last night for some homemade pizza and drinks. These co-workers are good friends of ours and knew my ex. One of them had been cheated on in a previous relationship, so she has been very comforting during this time. Anyways, last night the topic of my ex came up and I enjoyed talking some trash with one of the friends and my brother-in-law while my sister and the other friend were on the couch talking about something. I may have gotten a little loud during my exit talking session, and my sister says, "Why are you still upset about this? You're smart and funny and you shouldn't be still on this. Why are you so upset still?" I then looked at her and almost started crying as I tried to say it's just not that easy, when my brother-in-law chimes in and says they were together for 9 years. That's how long we've been together. Can you imagine right now if I said I was cheating and just moved out? And she sat there quiet. A serious shout out to my brother-in-law and friends who clearly saw that my sister was being insensitive. I couldn't believe that my own sister was invalidating my feelings when she's seen firsthand what I've been going through the past 5 months. I guess it's true that some people really don't care about things unless it directly affects them. Also, just for clarity, I'm female. My brother-in-law is married to my sister. Update: I didn't realize our pets can have triggers too. I haven't heard from my ex in months since Hess been with AP since our breakup in April. I've come to terms with the fact that Hess not coming back. I'm living my life. I got a raise promotion at my job. I'm finishing up this semester of college with good grades. I'm healthy and just trying to live my life the best I can. Today, my dog heard a sound from a car that was similar to my ex's truck. He ran to the door, started crying and thought it was my ex. I checked outside and my neighbors have company over with the same truck. I knew right after the breakup my dog didn't understand what was going on. We adopted him together, so has known my ex his whole life. It's been months and I thought my dog had probably just forgotten to some degree about my ex, but that's apparently not the case. It breaks my heart to know that not only did my ex hurt me, but he also abandoned our dog. I can't explain to him what happened. I can't tell him that Hess not coming back. He just gets to think that my ex was coming home when it was really just the neighbors. Screw these cheaters, they even emotionally hurt our pets. Update: some satisfaction in knowing I wasn't the problem. Tonight I saw my ex on Tinder. The same ex that left me for AP last year during the start of the pandemic. He threw away 9 years together for what he said was the greatest person ever. Well, I guess she wasn't so great after all, huh? I got some closure knowing that helped keep void filling his entire life. He went from me to AP with no time in between and now has back on dating apps since their fling didn't work out. Or has actually still with her and secretly cheating on her as well. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm free and haven't felt true peace like this since before we were together. Cheating is never the BS's fault. I now completely understand that.